Good morning, students. Welcome back. In our previous lecture, we learned about power series, and with the help of power series, we got the solution for Bessel's differential equation in the form of series. Those solutions we are calling as Bessel functions. In our today's lecture, we will see how to represent these Bessel functions in terms of series, as well as we'll see the orthogonality of the Bessel functions. Let's start. Bessel functions of the first kind. So whatever we got, Jn of x, j minus n of x, those two formulas, those two functions are the Bessel functions, and when roots are not equal, m is equal to plus or minus n, we got these formulas. If both roots are equal, then you have a second kind. So that is not there in our curriculum. We are not going to discuss about that. So anyway, for the examination point of view also, we are just concentrating Jn of x. Okay, so of course that minus, just by changing n with minus n, we will get that formula. It's not a problem. So if you see, in place of n, if I take it 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, I will get it here j0 of x, j1 of x, j2 of x, j3 of x, j4 of x. Means at any value of x for n equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let you see this graph. If you see graph carefully, j0 is the blue color, which is going to be converged at certain point. So these Bessel functions are going to be converge all these with n equal to 0 to maybe 4 up to infinity, whatever you are taking the values. So these values are these Bessel functions, special type of these functions are going to be converge to the certain point. So this wave is clearly tells us that there is a decreasing in its position. And if you see all these, this blue color j0 of x, j1 of x is the green color, and j2 of x is yellow, j3 of x is red, and j4 of x is our pink color. Okay, just for showing why I am showing this, to understand in a better way how Bessel solutions will be represented graphically. It's not there in our part of our syllabus, but better to understand this. Now, that is the reason we are planning to find j0 of x, j1 of x, maybe sometimes j of x, j minus of x. So these are some standard results which you should know how to write in terms of series. Okay, so we'll start. This is called series representation of the Bessel functions. So in the examination, they may simply ask you find j0 of x, otherwise show that j0 of x in this series form and j1 of x in this form. Okay, right. So as you know, for any series which we want to write in terms of series representation, we should know the formula Jn of x. What is the formula for that? We got the Bessel function formula, summation r is equal to 0 to infinity, minus 1 whole to the power of r whole divided by r factorial, gamma of n plus r plus 1 factorial into x by 2 whole to the power of n plus 2r. So this formula you got from the derivation of Bessel differential equation. You please try to remember, then and only you can do these problems. Okay, this is compulsory. You should remember this particular formula. Now in place of n, I am just substituting, put n equal to 0 here, then I will get j0 of x. So wherever n is there, I am just substituting 0. So in that case, how it is changing? Summation r equal to 0 to infinity, minus 1 whole to the power of r by r factorial, gamma of, in place of n, 0, plus r plus 1, bracket of x by 2 whole to the power of, again in place of n, 0, that's why it is 2r, right? Okay, so now if you see this, gamma of r plus 1 is nothing but r factorial. From gamma definition, there are properties, gamma properties. Gamma r plus 1 is equal to r factorial. Therefore, r factorial into r factorial square. isn't it? So this we have, this is in the form of summation. So they are asking us to represent in terms of some infinite series terms. So better to expand this. When I expand, how to expand? We will start with r is equal to 0. If r is equal to 0, if I substitute, what I will get it? 1 by 0 factorial into 0 factorial, that is 1. You know the value of 0 factorial, that is 1. So x by 2 whole to the power of 2r. So r value is 0 here. So any number to the power 0 is 1. So we got first term 1, and if r is equal to 1, so here we are getting negative value. So 1 factorial into 1 factorial, x by 2 into r value is 1, that's why x by 2 whole square. So this is your second term. And third term, r is equal to 3, so we have like r factorial whole square, that's why 1 by 2 factorial whole square, and then x by 2 into 2r means r is equal to 2, that is 4, minus r is equal to 3, then we will get minus 1 whole cube, that will become a negative value, minus 1 whole by 3 factorial whole square, x by 2 into 6. Like that, terms will be, you have to expand all these terms, and you always keep an eye on the end result. We need to show that j0 of x as 1 minus x square by 2 square form. So that I am just taking this x by 2 whole square, just expanding as x square by 2 square, plus, and here x to the power of 4 by 2 square dot 4 square, means this term you have to write it up, this particular term. How we have to write it up? So this will be 2 square already is 2 factorial means 2 only, 2 square is there, and how you got here 4 square? Actually this is x to the power of 4 by 2 to the power of 4. 2 to the power of 4 means 16. 4 square is also 16. So we have to write as per requirement formula, and in that particular series form. It has some magic, means that series is having some sequence form. So better to write whatever they ask in that particular form, we have to write it up. If I take it third one, so as usual, if you see this second term, there is some harmonic here, x to the power of 4 by 2 square, 4 square is there. So you can expect third term how it will becomes, right? So anyway, here 3 factorial whole square. So what it is going to be give here, actually that value is 6 square, right? 3 factorial means 6 square. This 2 x to the power of 6 by 2 to the power of 6 means this we can write 2 square into 4 square. Okay, so now you got that particular result. Therefore j0 of x is 1 minus x square by 2 square plus x to the power of 4 by 2 square into 4 square minus x to the power of 6 by 2 square, 4 square, 6 square, plus and so on, right? And one more here, what we have to find it out? j1 of x. So you have to put in place of formula, we have to put n equal to 1. So if I substitute n equal to 1, so what we have, this is your formula, right? So here in this place n equal to 1 means r plus 1 means r plus 2. Here 1 plus 2r will be there, right? So wherever n is there, in that place we will substitute. So your j1 of x will be in this form. So anyway, r is changing 0 to infinity. So this x by 2 whole to the power of 1 into x by 2 whole to the power of 2r, we can write it up. Otherwise, anyway, so here as usual, gamma of r plus 2 is there. So gamma of r plus 2 I can write it up as r plus 1 factorial from gamma definition, isn't it? So summation r is equal to 0 to infinity minus 1 whole to the power of r by r factorial into r plus 1 factorial x by 2 whole to the power of 1 plus 2r. So this is in the sigma form. So you have to expand this. So if I expand means I have to start with r is equal to 0. if I substitute r is equal to 0, so what we got it, this is minus 1 whole to the power of 0, that is 1 by 0 factorial into 1 factorial, that is 1, and x by 2 whole to the power of 1 plus 2r, r value 0, that means first term is x by 2, minus r is equal to 1 this time. So minus 1 whole to the power of 1, that is minus 1 by, this is 1 factorial into this is 2 factorial, so that will be 2 factorial. Here x by 2, 1 plus 2r, r value 1, so 1 plus 2, that will be 3 here. Okay, we got the second term. Similarly, at least you please write 3 terms. Okay, so if you r is equal to, if you are taking this time r is equal to 2, then what will get it, minus 1 whole square, that will be plus, and 2 factorial into 3 factorial, x by 2, 1 plus, this is 2r means 2r value 2, so it will be 5, x by 2 whole to the power of 5. So this is series what you got it, but always, as I said, you please keep an eye on your final answer, what they are asking. I have to show j1 of x in this form. So first term is x by 2, okay, I got x by 2 here, okay, and second term is, we should show that this second term as x cube, numerator we can write x cube, and the denominator will be, this will be 2 into 2 cube, okay. Actually what we need to write it up as 2 square into 4. If you see the answer, we have to write this as a 2 square into 4. The next term will be 2 square into 4 square into 6, isn't it? So in that way we have to write it up. Of course, this is actually x cube by 16 will be there. That 16 directly we can write, but as per their requirement we have to represent 2 square dot 4 plus, and here x to the power of 5 by, here also this is see 2 to the power of 5, here 1 2, total 2 to the power of 6. This 2 to the power of 6 we can write 2 square into 4 square, 3 factorial is nothing but your 6, okay. So anyway, this is j1 of x. So these are the results in the form of series representation, j0 of x, j1 of x, right? Good. Next, so that j1 by 2 of x is equal to under root 2 by pi x sin x. How to show that j of x is equal to this result. As usual, we should use the jn of x formula, and this time in place of n what we have, we should take off, so that j of x, okay, summation r is equal to 0 to infinity minus 1 whole to the power of r by r factorial gamma of n plus r plus 1. What is n value here? 1 by 2 into x by 2 whole to the power of 1 by 2 plus 2r, right? So here, of course, r is changing 0 to infinity. This we can write it up as x by 2 whole to the power of half into x by 2 whole to the power of 2r, so that x by 2 whole to the power of half, better to write down outside because there may not be any change. R is only changing in this series, so this we can keep it outside, and the remaining whatever we have odd terms, better to keep inside because it's changing r equal to 0 to infinity, right? So this is 1, right? R is equal to 0 to summation r equal to 0 to infinity minus 1 whole to the power of r by r factorial gamma of r plus r plus 1 x by 2 whole to the power of 2r. I am just taking this particular term outside because, as you know, some number to the power of m plus 1, you can write x to the power of m plus n as x to the power of m into x to the power of n. In that way I took it this term outside. I hope you understood, right? So then once we have this x by 2 whole to the power of outside, the remaining term r is changing. So as I said, you please write down at least minimum 3 terms. So if I take r is equal to 0, so what I am going to get it, gamma of plus 1, that is gamma 3 by 2. First term is 1 by, so why it is 1, minus 1 whole to the power of 0, any number to the power of 0 is 1 by, this is gamma 3 by 2, okay, into x by 2 whole to the power of 0 value, any number to the power of 0, that is 1. That's why first term is this, and your second term r is equal to 1, so minus 1 whole to the power of 1 means you will get minus value here, minus 1 by, if you see the denominator, 1 factorial gamma of r plus 1, r value, what is r value here? 1. So total 2 plus 1 by 2, that will be 5 by 2. Okay, isn't it? So gamma of 5 by 2, 1 by gamma of 5 by 2, and in place of r we are taking now 1, that's why x by 2 whole square. So simply you just substitute r is equal to 0, 1, 2, and you try to write down these terms. Very simple. Okay, right. So still it is not in the simplification form. We have to go further to get your answer. Final answer, we should write this in terms of root 2 by pi x sin x. That's why we have to do some more things as a simplification part. So x by 2 whole to the power of half, and if you see here I'm going to use one more formula. As you know, gamma n is equal to, we can write gamma n is equal to we have n minus 1 into gamma n minus 1. Do you remember this property also? Okay, this is one more property, isn't it? We have two properties. Gamma n is equal to n minus 1 factorial. Gamma n is equal to n minus 1 into gamma n minus 1. So I am just writing the same thing because 3 by 2 here, that is we can write it up as 1 by 2 gamma 1 by 2. Here this is actually 5 by 2 is there. 3 by 2 into gamma 3 by 2. Again gamma 3 by 2 I can write 1 by 2 into gamma 1 by 2. Okay, you please, I recommend you please go back and see your previous course gamma beta functions. I explained all this very carefully. If you have your notes with you, and please go back and check all these properties. Very simple properties we are using here. And of course the next term is we have gamma 7 by 2, that I can write 7 by 2 in 7 by 2 as 5 by 2 into gamma 5 by 2. Again gamma 5 by 2 I can write 3 by 2 into gamma 3 by 2. Again gamma 3 by 2 I can write 1 by 2 into gamma 1 by 2. So this is your result. So this is very simple. If you remember this particular formula, everything is dead easy for you. Okay, right. So if you are going on like this, and if you see in all the terms we have gamma of, okay, so that I am taking as outside, and this particular term x by 2 half 1 by gamma half, that we are keeping outside, and the remaining we are trying to simplify. When I am trying to simplify 1 by 1 by 2 is nothing but 2 by 1 factorial minus, if you see here this is actually 3 by 3 into 1, here 2 is also there, right? 1 2 will be gets that actually here what is there, if I am able to write this as a factorial form, then I can write 2 by 3 factorial into x square. So if you see here, of course this whole thing will be gets cancelled, but if I want to write some factorial form, why I am trying to write in the factorial form, you always keep in mind what is the sign series formula. So sign series formula will be x minus x cube by 3 factorial plus x to the power of 5 by 5 factorial, all this. You try to reduce to that form, then and only you can write that whole series is equivalent to your sin x. So that is what we are doing the whole thing in this problem. Okay, similarly here also some 5 into 4 is missing. Let you take 4 and of course and then 3 into 2. So whatever things are required from this you can take it. Here let you take, this is 3 into 2 into 1, one more 2 is there, that you can cancel it, right? This is 2 into 2. So 1 2 you can cancel it. Then 3 into 2 into 1 will be 3 factorial, and the remaining 2 goes to the numerator. Similarly here also 2 to the power of 4 means I have 4 into 4, 2 to the power of 4 is nothing but 16. So 4 into 4, I will take 4 into 2, right? So 4 2 we need, so that we can write it up as a 5 factorial. And the remaining, what is the remaining? If whatever we took here, 1 2 will be there, so that we can cancel one time here, one more 2 factorial here. So totally 1 2 will be remaining, that is there in the numerator. So from all the terms, if you are observed, 1 2 will be there in the numerator, that will take it outside. And as you know, x by 2 whole to the power of half is nothing but root x by root 2. And you may be remembered, gamma of value is root pi. Have you remembered? Gamma of value is root pi. So, and still after even taking 2 outside, let us see what we have here. We don't have x, right? If I take in 2 outside, first term will be simply 1 will be there. So to get your x to all the terms, okay, and that to here x here 1 x square x to the power of 4 is there. But in our sine series, we should have x cube x to the power of 8, those terms. So to get these terms, I am just what I am doing for the whole series, dividing and multiplying with x. So here that's why I took it by x, and the remaining x I am sending to inside the series by multiplying the whole series. Okay, so now if you see this part, if you simplify this particular part, what I am going to get it, 1 root 2 will be gets cancelled in the numerator, root x into x, so 1 root x will be there in the denominator, isn't it? So root 2 by pi x will be there outside, and the remaining this portion, as you know, it is clearly representing your sin x. So j of x, which will be equal to under root 2 by pi x into sin x. Similarly, this time I am taking j minus of x, and we are going to show that as under root 2 by pi x cos x. So whatever now I took the problem, these are very important for the examination point of view. If you are able to find it out, these evaluations, j0 of x, j1 of x, j half of x, j minus half of x, I think it's more than enough for us for the end examination. Right. So now I am taking as usual, and this is our formula. Now I am substituting in place of n is equal to minus 1 by 2. So if I substitute n is equal to minus of, as usual, r is equal to summation r is equal to 0 to infinity r factorial minus 1 whole to the power of r by gamma of minus of plus r plus 1 x by 2 of whole to the power of minus of plus 2. Okay, so plus 2r, this is r, right? R is missing, sorry. So plus 2r, right? So now I can take as usual this term outside, right? The remaining I am going to write it up as it is. So this I am going to expand it, r is equal to 0. So what is going to happen? R is equal to 0. So that will be gamma of plus minus. So r is equal to 1 means minus 1 whole to the power of 1, that we will get minus here, 1 by gamma 3 by 2. So it is clearly your previous results only, sin x results. Okay. So next is here 2 factorial, this is gamma, okay, 2 factorial gamma of 5 by 2 whole to the power of x by 2 whole to the power of 4. It will continue like that, and as usual gamma of value is root pi. Gamma 3 by 2 you can write 1 by 2 into gamma 1 by 2. Gamma 5 by 2 you can write 3 by 2 into 1 by 2 into gamma 1 by 2. So this is your next step, what I am explaining now. So 2 by x whole to the power of half. See here, this is actually x by 2 whole to the power of minus half, and now I am just taking reverse, that will becomes 2 by x whole to the power of half. Okay, so and then this gamma 3 by 2 gamma 5 by 2 I am writing as in this way, 1 by 2 gamma 1 by 2, 3 by 2 1 by 2 gamma 1 by 2, like that. Okay. Right. So in all the terms, as usual, again we got the gamma 1 by 2. We will take it outside gamma 1 by 2. What is the value for gamma 1 by 2? That is root pi. So this is 2 by x whole to the power of half means root 2 by root x. Right. So this term will be root 2 by pi x. Root 2 by pi x. And the inside, if it is very clear, what you have the series? 1 minus x square by 2 factorial plus x to the power of 4 by 4 factorial. All this will be represented our cos series function, cos function series. Okay. So therefore, j of minus 1 by 2 of x will be equal to under root 2 by pi x cos x. Right. Now it's time to discuss about orthogonality of the Bessel functions. Okay, so as you know, Jn of x is the solution for the first kind of Bessel functions. So we are just taking with some multiple Jn of x. In place of x, I am taking some scalar value also, Jn of alpha x and Jn of beta x. I am taking two solutions here, and alpha and beta are the roots for this Jn of x equal to 0. Then in that case, I have to show that this result will be equal to 0. This tells us that these two functions are, Bessel functions are orthogonal to each other. What is this function? Integral 0 to 1 x Jn of alpha x into Jn of beta x dx is equal to 0. We have to prove this. They will provide alpha and beta are the roots for Jn of x. Okay, so now very clear, and we are taking these two as a solutions for our Bessel differential equation. If you remember the Bessel differential equations, so what is the Bessel differential equation? X square d square by dx square plus x dy by dx plus x square minus n square into y is equal to 0, isn't it? So that is the your Bessel differential equation. So in place of x, what I am going to substitute here, in place of that x square, I have to substitute alpha square x square. Okay, so let me write down that what we have the formula, you may be remembered. So what is our Bessel's equation? X square y double dash, okay, plus x y dash plus bracket of x square minus n square equal to 0. This is your Bessel differential equation. Do you remember this? So now in place of x square here, in place of x square, what solution we got it? We got the solution for this Bessel equation. What is the solution we got it? In terms of what we returned? J n of x form we returned, right? Have you remembered? Right. Now what I am asking you now, in place of simply J n of x, I am just taking alpha times of x. Okay. So definitely in place of x, alpha x whole square I have to be substitute in the, because it's a solution, then I have to substitute that value here. So therefore x square u double dash plus x u dash. So why I am taking here u and v? Because these two are solutions for this Bessel function. So instead of substituting this directly, I am just taking their values u and v both. First we will substitute u, then later we will substitute v. Okay, so this is your Bessel function. Jn of alpha x we have to substitute in the differential equation, because it's a solution, it has to be satisfied, right? So x square u double dash plus x u dash plus, it is plus, in place of this x square, now actually answers are Jn of x. here we have Jn of alpha x, alpha times of x, so that in place of that I will get alpha square x square minus n square into u is equal to 0. Similarly, we have one more solution, v is equal to Jn of beta x. So I will take that as a solution and I will substitute in the equation. So that's why we have x square v double dash plus x v dash plus beta square x square minus n square into v is equal to 0. So it is very simple. If you know the basic formula, basic Bessel equation, differential equation, simply we are substituting in place of y double dash y dash, we are just substituting into y. I forgot to write here y, that is y into y is equal to 0. So in place of y dash, y dash, y double dash, initially I will substitute because there y is the solution, isn't it? Have you remembered y in terms of, we are writing c1 y1 plus c2 y2, c1 y1 plus c2 y2. Okay, so here y1 and y2 are the Bessel functions. y1 and y2 are the Bessel functions. Jn of x is for y1, j minus n of x is for y2. So these two we are considering as the solutions for the Bessel equation. Therefore it has to be satisfied. So here in place of y1 I am taking some u, in place of y2 I am taking some v. Those has to be satisfied. I hope you understood. Simply I am substituting in the equation because these are the roots for that. It has to be satisfied. Now to simplify further, we have to remember always, okay, the first equation we should multiply with v by x, and second equation we should multiply with u by x, so that after multiplying and if you are subtracting, let you do this rough work. What I am doing, first equation multiplied with v by x, second equation multiplied with u by x. After that I am subtracting 1 from 2, then I am getting this result. Okay, let you check yourself from your side also. Right, and if you see these two terms, first two terms, okay, these first two terms, I am able to write d by dx of x of u dash v minus u v dash. So derivative of some uv formula, d by dx of uv, d by dx of uv. If you are taking, as you know, the formula for that, uv dash plus vu dash. So in the same way you expand this. So x is one function, the remaining is other function. Okay, so first time if I am taking x as a constant, and here if I take it again, u double dash v is again function. So what we have to do here, I will take this one I have to differentiate, right? U dash v, suppose v is constant, then you will get u double dash here into v, and the next time u dash will be the constant, v dash you will get it, derivative for that. Okay, here we have plus u dash v dash, here we will get minus u dash v dash, both will be gets cancelled, and the remaining term will be these two. So let you differentiate by using this particular formula, you can easily get this term, right? And then of course this I am taking on other side, I am writing b square minus alpha square x u v. Okay, right. So because it's a derivative, d by dx is there, and we need to go for the integration in these limits. You see the answer, we have to get the integration in between 0 to 1, integral of 0 to 1 x jn of alpha x jn of beta x dx equal to this integral you have to evaluate it, that should be equal to 0. So to do that I am applying integration on both sides with the limits of 0 to 1. So now I am integrating both sides with the limit 0 to 1. So on right hand side we have b square minus alpha square, which is constant term, integral 0 to 1 x into v. So this is your term. Okay, this for that I am integrating 0 to 1 b square minus alpha square, which is constant outside, into x u v dx is equal to, as I said, integration differentiation will be gets cancelled, and the limits I am directly substituting here. If I substitute the limits, upper limit x is equal to 1, we will get this, lower limit x equal to 0, that will become 0. Now, as you know, beginning I am given, we assumed as u is equal to jn of alpha x and v is equal to jn of beta x. Okay, from this, if I need u dash, because here in our results we have u dash v dash also. If I need u dash, so alpha this alpha into differentiation for this alpha into jn dash of alpha x. So for this alpha, of course, it's a constant, we have to multiply. Similarly, v dash is equal to beta jn dash of beta x. So these things are required to substitute in this particular equation number 4. So now, as you see, integral 0 to 1 x, and in place of u here I am just substituting jn of alpha x in equation 4 and jn of beta x in place of v into dx. This beta square minus alpha square I am taking on other side because it's a constant, and on the right hand side we have u dash v. U dash means this is your u dash. Okay, this I am substituting here, u dash into v. Okay, v is already, you know that, jn of beta x, that is you are substituting here, and next is u v dash. Again, u value is here, jn of alpha x into what is that, v dash, that is beta of jn of beta x. Okay, so that's why we got this result. Right, and they are clearly mentioned, alpha and beta are the roots for jn of x equal to 0. So means jn of alpha is 0, jn of beta is also 0. That is the meaning. Because it's a roots, jn of alpha x equal to 0, when I substituted in place of x alpha and beta, these values will become 0. So I'm just doing the same thing here. In place of alpha and beta, I'm substituting here jn of alpha, this value is 0, jn of beta value is 0, isn't it? So 0 and something 0, so in the numerator we have 0, 0 by something, that will be 0. Okay, now we got this integral 0 to 1 x jn of alpha x jn of beta x dx, which is equal to 0. So this is a peculiar result which we will call it as Bessel's orthogonality property, orthogonality of the Bessel function. So please go through this particular derivation, it is very important for UT examination. Okay, so you go, if you are not understood, again you ask me, because some steps are directly written, and I hope you will by simply by roughly if you work it out, you will get all those steps, and please do it on your own, right? Thank you very much.